Welcome to Half Century Hangout, where different paths lead to the same table. I'm your host, John, joined by my friends and co-hosts, Luke and Chuck. We're three guys who grew up differently but became good friends with a lot to talk about. On this show, we bring our unique perspectives to the table and dive into everything from current events to life's big questions. We might not always see eye to eye, but that's exactly why we're here. To listen, to learn, and change our minds sometimes. So grab a seat and join us for honest conversation, unexpected insights, and a few friendly arguments. This is Half Century Hangout, where different perspectives make for better discussions. We're back here on Half Century Hangout. What's been going on? Springtime. Well, you know, that's what happens. We got showers outside and all that stuff.
I was in a little golf scramble yesterday with my son-in-law.
Nice.
Had a super fun time. We actually did pretty good, I thought.
Yeah.
So, yeah, nice. We're looking.
Best ball? Yeah,
it was best ball. And I got another one coming up in July with another friend of mine. So hopefully between now and then I can take a few strokes off the game.
Boy, you know, there's some really good movies about golf. Bagger Vance.
The Long Game. Yeah. Have you guys seen that one?
No.
That's a really
some
good one.
Good movies.
Yeah, there's some great movies about golf.
I think we ought to talk a little bit about movies today.
We are going to talk about movies, and you know what? So we're just going to kind of go around the table, and we're going to go one by one. We're going to do a top five. Give a quote, give whatever your background is about the movie, why you think it's in your top five, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And you know, just have some fun with it. See what it is. This is a helpful tool to learn some more about each other, but also for our listeners to learn a little more about us, and maybe go watch a movie that you haven't seen since 1985. So we're gonna go one at a time.
Yeah, who's gonna start us?
We're gonna go around. I think John, you should start.
I should start. Okay. Yep. All right.
Number one.
We're going one to five. Okay.
But we're going one at a time. You're just doing one.
Wait a minute.
And then you're doing your one, and I'm doing my one.
We're going to go start from the bottom of the list and go up, right? So like the first one.
Okay, we could do that. So you should do your fifth one first.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So my fifth one, and I'm a little bit of a Western fan, so Pale Rider.
Oh, boy.
Why is Pale Rider?
Wait now. You guys just got to stop, because I'm going to start doing that to you.
Oh, you might. Okay, when you hear mine, you will. Don't worry.
Pale Rider, released in 1985. Maybe that's why I graduated high. Well, we don't want to hear that. So, starred Clint Eastwood, and Clint Eastwood was a great Western movie, and actually he directed this movie too. Michael Moriarty, Carrie Snodgrass was in it as well. It's about a gunfighter who comes in and helps some settlers kind of fight off the strip mining in California. Yeah. So a little bit about that. Couple of quotes. This is Preacher, who Clint Eastwood played. Nothing like a hangman's noose to inspire a man's faith. Kind of like that one. Mm-hmm. And there's plain few problems can't be solved with a little sweat and hard work.
You know, I've been excited about this episode because we talked about this like a week or so. This is going to show some serious personality differences in each of us.
It will, and that's okay.
Yeah,
so
perfect.
There you go. Pale Rider, my number five.
Chuck, you're up
5-1.
Mine, my fifth one would be Back to the Future.
Oh, I like Back to the Future.
Yeah, Back to the Future. Yeah. You know, you have Marty and whatever the crazy doctor's name was. I can't remember.
Doc.
Yeah, Doc. Doc Martin. No, I don't know what it was. But anyway, the favorite quote from that movie is roads. Where we're going, we don't need roads.
We don't need roads.
Yeah, I
Coming
like
straight
that
from
one.
a Jeep. I'm going to start my number 5 with the actual quote. See if you can name the movie.
Oh, that's a good way to do that.
Cut the horse shit, son. I've got their disciplinary files right here.
I have no clue.
Animal House.
Animal House.
Oh my
There
goodness.
you go, Animal House.
1978.
That's
Yeah.
another good one. I like Animal House
That
too.
is that was Dean Wormer that had that line.
You betcha.
Oh, it's
Who
great.
starred in that movie?
Oh, the late great John Belushi.
Yeah,
yeah,
John
yeah, okay.
Belushi.
Yeah, there's lots of guys in that.
Yeah.
Actually, Kevin Bacon is in that movie too.
Is he really?
Very young. He's in the other fraternity, but. All right, John.
So we had a Western and two comedies there.
I don't think Back to the Future is a comedy, is it?
It's a drama.
It's a comedy.
Kind of a drama.
It's a comedy.
It's not a comedy.
Yeah, it
It's
ain't
a comedy. Anyway, number 4. Number 4. Here, I'll start with the quote too.
All right.
Never give up, never surrender. Galaxy Quest.
Galaxy
Do I say
Quest.
that all? Yeah, Galaxy Quest. I like Galaxy Quest.
When was that made?
Galaxy Quest was released in 1999, and it starred Tim Allen as John Naismith, Commander Peter Quincy Taggart.
Is this the same dude that was in Home Improvement?
It is, yes.
And he was in
It is.
Galaxy Quest in
He
the
was
70s?
also in the Santa Claus. No, not 99.
Oh,
99,
99.
not the 70s. No, mine are a little more recent.
All right, my next top 5, number 4 is
I'm already laughing. I don't know why.
Every Man Dies, Not Every Man Really Lives. You know where that comes from? Braveheart.
Yeah.
Braveheart.
I was thinking.
Braveheart.
You know,
William
I almost
Wallace.
put that on mine.
That's
I
a pretty
almost
good
did.
one.
I like that one.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good
Who
one.
William
starred in that?
Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
Don't ask me who else, but that's the
main one.
that's the main one.
Yeah, it was good. That was good. That was a good movie.
One of the when I did genre my movies out, one of the larger genres, if I put it together, was mob influenced and crime. Okay. And so that leads me to number 4. I kind of lied. I couldn't get down to 5. I got down to 6.
Oh my gosh. This
Animal
is
House
5?
was actually number 6. This is my
Tied
number
for
5.
number 5.
This is Godfather II. My father taught me many things here. He taught me in this room. He taught me keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
Yeah. Famous quote.
Yep. Okay, so do you want me to say my 4th one now? So we're on.
Sure.
the same
Yeah,
one?
now that you cheated.
Okay, now that I
Were
cheated.
those
cheated.
two
I had
tied
to
for
cheat.
4th?
They were tied for 5th.
Oh, tied for 5th.
All right.
Okay, go
so
ahead.
the next one is 1976, the original. I am not real big, even though I just named a sequel. I'm not real big on sequels. Like if the movie's good enough, you don't need a sequel.
Okay.
All right? It's kind of the way I've always thought about it.
all right.
Most of the sequels I don't think live up to it. Sometimes they do, but the original Rocky.
Okay.
Okay.
I like Rocky.
That was on my list.
And it's just one of those things. It's the story of a guy, that goes from nothing. And there's mob influence there, by the way, too. I don't know if you ever picked up on it.
Yeah.
At the
Yep.
beginning, he works for a loan shark who's with the outfit. So
Yep.
he's kind of there. He says he's in real estate, but that's kind of the side note there. That's Philly. That's the Philly mob in the 70s.
Okay.
Okay.
Real estate.
Didn't pick
And
up on that.
my favorite one is, what shot did you ever take? So he's at the bar. We've talked about this line a lot, where he's at the bar and they're watching the TV and they're talking about Apollo Creed. It's right at the beginning of the movie. And he says, they're at the bar and he goes, look at this bum up on the TV, the bartender. And he says, what do you mean, a bum? He's a man. He took a shot at the title and he won. What shot did you ever take? And he walks out of the bar and the bartender's like, you want me to take a shot? I'll take a shot. And he pours himself a shot. That's great. But I think it's just cool. I've always liked the movie only because it's like the little guy who did it and took a shot at it and he did it. It's just a lot of work ethic. There's a lot of other stuff that goes with it. But now we're on the 3.
You'll know this one by this quote. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
You can't handle the truth.
Oh,
Few Good Men.
Few Good Men.
You good man. Yeah, that
Good
one made number 3 for me. Tom Cruise, Jack Nicholson. It was released in 1992. Just a great movie, I thought. I like those kind of movies. I think it was John Grisham book, and
that
just
was
really a good time for that too.
That's the first movie that you've had so far that I'm like, yeah.
Oh, well, thank you very much on that. Yeah, Pale Rider's a good one. Come on,
but
you got to watch that.
I'm not much of a Western guy,
okay, well,
but just my personality.
I got them all over the place. I like anything.
Yeah,
just
that's good.
Just about.
I don't know what you guys will think about this one. Star Wars: Revenge of the Sith.
I like
made my top 5.
I like most of the Star Wars. I didn't have any of that on mine.
Yeah,
just because I just couldn't put them there.
I really liked Star Wars Episode 3 because it told the story of Darth Vader and how Anakin went from Anakin to Darth Vader, and I thought it was a great movie.
Return of the Jedi was the one I liked.
Was it?
Yeah. 3. I can get a good look at a T-bone by sticking my head up a bull's ass, but I'd rather take the butcher's word for it.
Tommy Boy.
Yeah.
That's a great one. That is a great one.
I could not put him on there. There's just no way.
That is a great one.
And
I thought
you
about
think
that
about it,
too.
there's so many things in that movie that just are just too funny. I can't. 95, I mean, it's kind of right there. And I think it's one of those things too where I kind of noticed that in some of my movies, it's like some of these guys that were just awesome at what they did and that aren't here anymore, that died way too young, And
Animal House.
Yeah, I mean,
Tommy Boy.
Because it's just like the guy he was hilarious. He was just there's only certain roles that, like, you look at roles sometimes, and these are the guys that could do it the way that it was meant to be done.
Right.
I mean, you'd be hard pressed to find somebody else as Tommy Boy that could do it as well as he did. All right, number 2.
You're next.
Number 2. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, that's Forrest Gump.
Yep.
Forrest Gump. Tom Hanks, Forrest Gump. Sally Fields was in it too. Great movie. I just has a lot of good lessons in it, and just a kind of a feel good movie.
My wife's uncle, his name was John Barbie, but that was one of his favorite quotes.
Yeah,
he'd always say that.
It's a great quote. There were a lot of great quotes in that movie.
You're not going to believe this. I've never seen the movie straight through.
Really, it's a good movie. It really is.
Is that weird?
Kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know what would interrupt you, Chuck. What would interrupt you in the middle of watching that movie? What would draw your attention away?
I don't know. Evidently,
commercials.
Maybe smoking meat. I'm not sure.
I know I was doing something. What was I doing? And I stopped. I don't remember. All right, what do you got? Number 2.
All right, I'll give you the quote. If you guys can guess this one, I'll buy the first round. Okay. All right. Here it is. Your voice is nice when your mouth isn't screwing it up.
Oh.
I got nothing.
Classic. It's probably one of the greatest movies ever.
I got nothing.
That might be an overstatement, but
it's ringing a bell, but I got nothing.
Goonies.
Oh, the Goonies.
Goonies.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like Goonies. Yeah.
I would definitely argue with you that it's one of the best movies ever.
Oh, it's a great movie.
It's a good movie. I don't know that I'd put it that high.
It's kind of fun to watch on a Sunday afternoon. When, on TBS or whatever. But
I mean,
it's all right.
Yeah.
Have you watched that one all the way through?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And you haven't watched
a lot.
Okay. Whatever. Okay. It tells us a lot about you.
Yeah, I know.
That tells us a lot
all this stuff is telling me a lot about you guys. So
You've probably never heard of my number 2. Even if you did, it's probably only for me talking about it, because I probably have before. So the lead character, his name is Mitchell. Okay. He says, you know what, Mitchell? You're the biggest P word I've ever seen in my life. Didn't even try. How does that feel? The name of the movie is 3 O'Clock High.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I've talked about it's a B movie. I would put it into the comedy thing, but it's a little more than that. It kind of goes into this whole kind of high school life thing, like about different stuff. But this goofy, nerdy kid who's in the journalism class, there's going to be a new kid that's coming in the building. Everybody's talking about him because he got kicked out of his other school because he punched a teacher. Okay. Mm-hmm. So he comes into the school. His name is Buddy Revell, and he comes in, and it's his first day, and he's just this big bad dude. He's wearing a leather coat, and he's just walking through the halls, and everybody's, scared of him. And Mitchell goes up to him and puts his hand on his shoulder and says, hey, I'd like to interview you for the school newspaper. Nobody touches me. And he like slams him up against the mirror, and we're going to fight at 3:00. And that was the whole movie. The whole movie is him
leading up to 3:00
the whole day. And you hear it in the background. You hear the clock ticking. You hear the whole thing. And it's great cinematography. Like it goes to the clock on all these angles. And it's him the whole day trying to get away to get out of school and then doing things like this kid's never been in the principal's office, and he does all this stuff, stealing money from the student store, like anything to get out of the building. And that's why that quote came up, because it was like, you never even tried. How does that feel? So it turns into this whole thing about, all right, it's kind of like a little bit of a Rocky thing at the end. But just a great movie, the way that it portrays high school and how the students interact with some of the teachers. And you always have that one teacher who's kind of like the dude, you know, like that guy in the 80s. And you go into the assistant principal's office and he's got a bunch of stuffed like boar heads like staring down at you. Oh, it's hilarious. You got to watch it. It's great. It's
high school in the
Never
80s.
heard of it.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
80s.
So
good stuff. Good
we are about to share our number one pick
Is this number one?
of all time, right? Our number one movie.
I cannot tell you how much I struggled with this. All right, John.
All right. Number one. Get busy living or get busy dying.
It's the same one as mine.
Are you
Is
kidding
it
me?
really? Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Get busy living or get busy dying.
Or you can say that this is really one of my favorite quotes. The guy crawled through 300 yards of the foulest smelling crap to come out clean on the other side.
Oh,
And I don't think he said crap. He said something else, but
is that a?
Tim Robbins, Morgan Freeman.
Oh yeah.
Released.
Oh shoot. That is a great.
1994.
1994.
What is
Shawshank
That's
Redemption.
it. That is a great movie.
That's just one of my favorites.
Yeah.
So the thing about that movie, and I'll just jump in since we picked the same one. That we can
How
tag
about
at the
that?
same time,
Can you believe that, Chuck?
Yeah, go figure.
is that it wasn't like one of the major things about it is the idea that if you were in prison for something you didn't do, okay, and you're going to spend your life in prison for something you didn't do, okay, like what that must feel like, first of all, and how you're going to try to make something positive out of it, which he does in the movie. He goes through and does his thing. But I think the thing that blew me away more than anything else was that one of the guys who was really old, who had been there his whole life, and they never really led on to the fact of whether he was actually guilty or innocent, but he got let out. He got paroled. He was in his 80s.
The old dude did, yeah.
Yeah.
And when he goes out and he's writing, and they're narrating in the background, and he had never seen a car because he had been in there so long. And so you start to think about that, and you start to think about
Life
people
has
that are
gone and got
incarcerated that
itself
far.
in such a big hurry.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, and then he kills himself because he just doesn't know what to
can't
do.
handle it.
Yeah.
It's too much. And I think it's that movie, I've watched it so many times, but I think that it really tells a story about our system of incarceration and things. I think there's a lot of other underlying themes in that movie that are really, really super layered down. Like you can go, can go a long way in that movie. It's not just the story of these two guys that then wind up going to Mexico and meeting on a beach again. You know what I mean? It's not just that.
I like the part where
Here's
they're.
what I thought you would like. Here's a great quote from that movie. Fear can hold you prisoner. Hope can set you free.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good
like
line.
that one.
The one part I really like about that movie is when Tim Robbins, whatever his character's name was,
Andy Dufresne.
They do the Andy Dufresne, and they do the deal up on the roof.
On the roof, yeah.
And he said, "How about get some suds, some bottles of suds for me and the boys."
That was because he gave the guard the tax advice.
Yeah.
About his thing.
But he grabs him first and
he's
he's going to
gonna throw him
toss
over
him
the
off,
edge.
right?
Yeah. No, that's a good movie. All right. So you two, I can't believe you two agreed on the same.
Well, we didn't talk about
That's
it.
a great.
This was all.
we didn't.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blind.
Completely blind.
It was a blind.
I'm perplexed as to what yours is going to be.
Yeah.
Are you really?
What is it like?
What year is it from? Ish.
1997, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe something like that.
Okay.
Remember the Titans.
I thought maybe you would go there.
Remember the Titans. Yeah,
like
that is one of my favorite movies, or my favorite movie of all time. I could probably watch it over and over. Denzel Washington.
Yep.
And it's about football, and it's based on a true story, which I thought was pretty, kind of cool.
All those things that have those stories that come out of the South and how, like, unless you lived it, sometimes for us, it's a little difficult to understand what it really meant to integrate schools and things like that, like the struggle that was,
Yeah.
So I've always looked at those movies like that, like it really is. I mean, it's educational on top of it. I mean, I realize it's a.
Did you experience? Story. You didn't experience desegregation at all, did you?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So I experienced a little bit of desegregation, in Dayton.
Yeah.
They bust us over to the west side of town, which is different ethnicity than where we were.
100%.
And so it kind of felt a little bit more like home. And obviously, it's about my favorite sport, football. Yeah. And I thought Denzel Washington did a great job portraying Herman Boone.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it was great flick.
It is definitely
of all time. So how, as we formed our top 5 guys, what was the process that you went through, and how you formed those, how you came up with them?
Gosh, we had a week, and of course my process is to put things off as long as I can until I really have to do it. And I was thinking about...
Are you a procrastinator by nature?
I am.
Okay.
I am. So there's another thing you're learning about me.
Yeah.
Anyway, I really had thought a lot about the movies that I watch. And I have watched a lot of movies, but some of them are, and don't take this the wrong way, but some of them are like the Goonies, where you just they're okay movies. They're not bad, but would they be in my top? I mean, it's kind of like Star Wars too. I don't know that rises to the top for me. Mm-hmm. So I really was looking at those movies that, and who knows, maybe Galaxy Quest doesn't either, but those movies I like, and I really could watch them over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. And not that I haven't seen the Goonies more than once, but and I did kind of look at genres too. I did want a Western in there. I do like Westerns, and I like kind of the more modern ones, like Clint Eastwood. Kind of looked at actors and actresses too. That's kind of how I did it. I thought about the movies I liked, and then I had some of them that rose to the top.
Yeah. How'd you come up with yours, Luke?
What it was funny was that I initially, when we first did it, I just jotted some down on my phone in notes, right? I just put some down, and then
40 movies later.
Yeah. Then I'd think of one like in the middle of the night, and I'd have to type it because I'd forget it, but it's like, oh, I forgot about that one, or I forgot about that one. And I think that it's, for me, I guess personally, if you want to say, I probably live in the past a little bit sometimes. Mm-hmm. And I think that it sometimes, a movie that makes me think deeper than the surface is a good movie to me. If I can apply something from a movie, or I can relate to something in the movie, I think that's kind of where I'm at. I probably couldn't relate to anything in Goonies, but I could probably relate to something like the feeling like in Shawshank, right? Where you don't know what to do. Like, what am I going to do? Like, I'm in a shitty spot. What am I going to do?
Yeah. As I was thinking about this, what to put on my top 5, I was asking myself the question, if I were to meet somebody new, and what's the movie I would say, you got to see this, and this tells you a little bit about who I am. And that's the reason, like, Remember the Titans it quickly rose to the top. I love true stories. So like Braveheart was in there. Another similar movie that's kind of like Remember the Titans Glory Road? It's about basketball instead of football. Yeah. So that's a good one. And then some of the reason Goonies is on there is just because it's kind of just a fun fantasy adventure type of thing. And so I mean, I think as we think about movies and talk about movies, I think they do. The reason we can connect with them is because they reveal a little bit about our soul,
who we are.
We can connect with them, but I don't know.
Sorry, you're singing deep down inside. I always wanted to be a gangster.
I think so. I think you'd be a great gangster.
And you just wanted to be a kid that found a treasure, right?
That's it. Just wanted to,
yeah.
So then
I just wanted to be on a spaceship out in space,
or a pale horse.
You do wear your
pale
cowboy boots to school once in a while.
Do what?
You do what he does wear his cowboy boots to school once in a while.
Once in a while.
So the last part of this, we're just going to go through, and I will mention quick. We're going to name our 5, right?
Okay, we're going from 6 to 10. Or are we going?
Well, you're going to name all yours. We're not going 1 to 1 this time.
Gotcha.
We're just going to go through.
Yeah. All right. Honorable mentions, John.
Oh, I'm going first.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's start them off.
Lean on Me.
Okay.
All right.
The Green Mile.
All right.
Oh, that's a good one.
I like that one.
Teachers. About teachers in New York City.
Okay.
The Untouchables.
I had that on not on my honorable mention, but it was in my initial list.
And Signs.
Oh, that's a good one.
Kind of a sci-fi.
Yeah, you've talked about Signs before.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's a good list.
Sci-fi. So there you go.
Right. Good list. Honorable mentions for me. Rambo, First Blood. Grease.
Oh, man.
John Travolta. There you go.
I'm laughing, folks, because
Pulp Fiction
he started singing this the other day at work, and I'm like, if you put that on your list, I'm like,
okay, go
whatever,
ahead.
We're good.
All right.
Wait, can I ask why Grease? Why? Is it just the music, or what is it?
It's partly the music.
Or is it Olivia Neutron-Bomb?
No, it's partly the music.
No, how old were you when Grease came out?
So I didn't really see it until my kids were older. Okay. And so we would sit there and watch it. We probably watched it a bunch. And my boys, they're going to hate this, but my boys would do the dance that the guys would do in the movie. Oh, yeah. And so when I think of Grease, I think of my boys, up there.
It brings up some memories.
Yep, it sure does.
There you go.
So they're going to hate that. I'm going to have to. Anyway. Yeah.
There's no editing that out. Sorry.
All right. Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers.
Oh, I like Lord of the Rings.
I like that one.
I'm a big fantasy fan too. Yeah.
This is the movie that almost made the Rocky thing. I don't know if you guys seen it, but Warrior with Tom Hardy.
I've not seen that one.
Great movie.
Is it boxing?
Great fight movie.
Okay.
Yeah, it's MMA type fighting, so it's real good. And then, ode to Robin Williams, Jumanji.
I like Jumanji.
Yeah, that
was good.
So you kind of see this fantasy adventure type of combination with true stories,
and it was the first Jumanji, not the other two.
Yeah, the one with Robin Williams.
Yeah,
that's that to me is the best one.
I like Robin Williams. That's good.
So the reason I asked you about Grease and if it was the music, one of mine, a lot of it is because of the music. There's a lot of other things that go into it, but Blues Brothers.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I like the Blues Brothers.
Great music throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
Just John Lee Hooker's in there. I mean, that's great. Yeah. It's good stuff. I like that. We're on a mission from God. I love it. Uncle Buck.
Oh yeah.
John Candy.
John. Yep. There's another guy that died too soon.
He did.
Yeah. Uncle Buck. Love Uncle Buck.
I was going to give you a quote. I probably shouldn't.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, it's a great one.
Why not?
It's the girl's boyfriend, and his name is Bug.
His name is
Bug.
Yes.
And he's like, what's his last name? Spray? Oh, it's great. But he comes up and he pulls up to the school to give her a ride in that car that keeps backfiring, that old LTD. And he's like, you ever hear of a tune-up? And Candy goes, oh, yeah. You ever hear of a ritual killing? On her face like that in public again, and you'll be one. It's great. My newest movie in the entire list, 2007. Mark Wahlberg, Shooter.
Oh, okay.
Oh, love that movie. Love it. You don't understand. These boys killed my dog. 1973, my last two involve colors. The same color. 1973, White Lightning. Burt Reynolds as a whiskey runner. Oh, it's great. Great stuff. White Lightning was part of a series, actually. It wasn't really sequels, but he was Gator McCluskey was his name. But it was all down south, like in the bayou. And last one, the oldest movie in my list, 1949. James Cagney, White Heat. The original gangster movie. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. So good.
Never heard of it.
I told you to keep away from that radio. If that battery is dead, it'll have company. Probably the best scene. Oh, it's great. There's a guy who's kind of a rat, and he locks him in the trunk of a car. Mm-hmm. And it's cold. It's like in the wintertime, and so they're leaving, and they're just going to leave him in the car to die, whatever it is. And he goes by, and the guy yells from the trunk. He's like, "Hey, Cody!" He's like, "I can't breathe in here. What's that? You can't breathe. Here, I'll give you some air." And he shoots about 6 slugs into the trunk lid. Oh, no. Can you breathe now? Oh, it's great. It's great. But yeah, it's a great movie. It's black and white. It's good. But yeah, I got so many others. Get one more. Give yourself one more. You got one more?
I do not. I just did
Chuck,
10.
You got one more?
I did 10.
My one more would probably be, go ahead and give your one more.
I can think of one here if you.
I would say
minutes.
Goodfellas. Yeah. I'm really surprised that I could have put that over into my list, but such a great movie. And it's true story based as well. Henry Hill and all, it's all real. Now they did dramatize some of it.
What was that again?
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas. I love that movie too.
And if you read stuff about it and talk about Henry Hill, and he actually wound up, when Henry Hill ratted him out, they put him in Witsec, and he wound up in Omaha. That's where his first stop was. Yeah. But then he got arrested in Omaha and went back. So yeah, that's how he got out of New York the first time. But yeah,
I like that movie. So when you guys were talking, Al Pacino, I loved A Scent of a Woman.
That's a great movie. It is
great movie. I just I love that one, and that kind of tells a little bit about with. I like sci-fi, but I like those kind of make you think type of movies that are a little more drama.
I think my one more would be U.S. Marshals.
Oh, that's good.
Tommy Lee Jones and Harrison Ford.
My feel-good movie was It's a Wonderful Life.
I like It's a Wonderful Life.
And that was all about the whole thing of being thankful for what you have and not always thinking the grass is greener and always looking for something better. And I think that was a great story for men to look at, like, hey, look what you have. You have your family, you've got your wife, you've got this home, you've got everything you need. You don't need to look further.
Yeah.
Anyway,
well, hey,
we should have made popcorn.
We should have. Doggone that. We missed an opportunity.
I wish we would have been in the garage, because I'm sure the conversation would have been even more lively had we had a couple drinks in our hand.
Yeah, that would have been
good.
But my garage actually is a garage too. It's not just a dedicated drinking/recording studio. So it is a little bit dirty at the moment. There's some stuff, so we passed it off. So hopefully one of these days we'll get back in there once I get all these projects done.
Not like Sickies, huh?
Yeah.
No. I think you wanted to start something like that.
That's something.
What's a Sickie?
Sickie's Garage? Never heard of that? The restaurant chain.
Oh, never heard of it.
But
started out like Luke's Garage.
Literally, it's kind of one of those things, this topic, I talk about movies all the time. I quote stuff all the time, and I'll say it. But it is it's always fun. I mean, I like it. And I like watching new stuff, but I always sometimes roll back to the old stuff.
Yeah.
We've had so many quotes. Are we quoting anything? We don't need
How about this one? We each owe a death. There are no exceptions. It's from The Green Mile. Remember how he lived a lot longer?
Lots of good life lessons in that one.
Yeah. Maybe
Really
that's what I look for, is the life lessons.
It is kind of cool when you watch something. It kind of grabs your interest and kind of keeps you in it to see, what are they going to come up with? So.
Hey, just a reminder to all of our listeners, if you enjoy what you're listening to, recommend it to someone, share the show, with a friend. We would really appreciate that. And then on the Facebook post that we usually put up each week, make sure that you comment. Maybe your favorite movie.
Give us your favorite movie.
Yeah, your favorite movie with a quote.
Because, I've got so much spare time. I need to watch a new movie once in a while.
That's exactly right. Super fun.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Well, hey, thanks for hanging out with us here at Half Century Hangout.
Yep. Peace out, guys.
Have a great week.